Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Let's see, let's see. Let me go back now. I think we're good. Let me see. Yeah, sound like we are. All right. Like I said, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Keith, back with another live stream. Uh, we got market analysis or weekly analysis. Today is Sunday, December 14th, 2025. And yeah, we're finna be looking forward this week, analyze the market for this week from the 15th to the 19th. All right. First thing first, before we get onto these charts, y'all know that we go over our economic calendar and our earnings. Okay. So we finna go ahead and jump into that. Like I said, I am live on TikTok. We're live on TikTok today. For this is like the first time doing it, but we live on TikTok today. And if you're on TikTok, we're live on YouTube. It should be the same name as the TikTok name, Quisetrades, but it should be on the same name on YouTube as it is on TikTok. And if you're on YouTube, it's the same name on TikTok as it is on YouTube. But like we said, first thing first, we're going to go into the economic calendar. So y'all give me 1 second. That's the. Need to pull it up real quick. I thought I already had it up. And I'll try to keep up with the TikTok comments, but I'm so used to doing YouTube, y'all, that I might not see some of the TikTok comments. So y'all give me y'all bear with me. It's like I said, it's the first time me doing the TikTok stream. So y'all bear with me. Alright. Like we said, we finna go ahead and jump into the economic calendar. If anybody wanting to know what I use for the economic calendar, I go to investing.com and I use their economic calendar. I put it on 3-star news because I only care about the 3-star news, the high impact news. So we put it on 3-star news, and yeah, that's how we get our calendar. As y'all can see, we got nothing but 3-star news showing up, all US news. But looking at this economic calendar, going into this week, we don't really have no major news until Tuesday. That's our first day. We see Tuesday is our first day of actual heavy news. Starting off at 7:30, we got that average hourly earnings at 7:30. We got core retail sales also at 7:30. We got non-farm payrolls at 7:30. We got retail sales at 7:30. We got unemployment rates at 7:30. We got a lot of stuff coming out here. A lot of news coming out at the beginning of the morning on Tuesday. Then at 8:45 we got PMI also coming out. So most of all the news for Tuesday is coming out pretty early in the day. Before, really almost before the market open, other than PMI. PMI is 15 minutes after the market open. But most of the news gonna be coming out before we actually get on the charts. Y'all know we usually wait till that market open before we jump in trades unless we see a nice setup. But real heavy morning on Tuesday. Definitely can be seeing a lot of volatile once the market open and everybody jump in. We definitely can be seeing a lot of volatile markets due to people reacting to this news coming out. Wednesday, December 17th, we have crude oil. Y'all know how I feel with crude oil. It's it's kind of hit or miss if it affects our futures markets and not usually. Sometimes it just only affect oil. Sometimes it affects the overall market. Wednesday really not that crazy, but y'all know Wednesday we do expect Wednesday usually to be like that potential reversal day. So we still respect it, but news wise it's nothing crazy. Thursday, December 19th, we have CPI 7:30. We got CPI, initial jobless claims, and then it says Philadelphia Fed manufacturing. So really everything at 7:30 on Thursday. Everything at 7:30. Um so really once 7:30 hit, let the 8:30 market open. See how the market, reacts to the news, and then we just be chilling after that. Friday, December 19th. We have PCE at 7:30, and then existing home sales at 9. Y'all know Fridays usually real volatile, just because it's the end of the week. Market likes to correct itself on Fridays, so whatever the weekly counter wanted to close to, usually Friday the market will push to that key level. So honestly, this week we do got a jam-packed week. I'm gonna be honest, we do got a jam-packed week. A lot of heavy news. We got, like we said, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, really no news. Not heavy news. Monday, not really heavy news, but it is the opener of the week. So kind of let it, give it 15 minutes when the market opens, see what direction you want to clear up and go. But then it should be smooth Monday. Tuesday and I want to say Tuesday and uh really Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, all heavy days. So those are the main days I'm gonna be watching out for. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I mean Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday, I'm not too worried about news. All right, now jumping to the earnings for this week. Um, any noticeable names that I'm looking for? Monday, nothing really. Tuesday, nothing really. And like I said, I know it's a little bit blurry. This is a screenshot. Um, oh my bad. I don't even know if YouTube y'all seen that because the angle of the. Give me one second. I'm gonna move it over. Think y'all can see it now. I'll move it over a little bit more. All right. Like I said, Monday nothing really. Tuesday nothing really. Wednesday they got General Mills in the pre-market. Micron after the close on Wednesday maybe. Might look at Micron. Thursday nothing crazy that I usually look at. For the after the close, I mean they got Nike. I ain't looking Nike in some years, or about a year or so. FedEx, we might can look at their chart. Uh, Earnings wise, nothing crazy. It ain't nothing crazy this week earnings wise. Nothing that we really is looking out for. So like we said, big days we're really watching out for is Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay. All right. Now let's get into these charts. Let me see something. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Mel, is you in here? I don't know if my boy Mel in here. Get his weekly analysis. I don't know. Mel, comment if you in here though. Alright. First thing first, we're gonna jump over to SPY. Y'all know we're gonna start off with SPY. Do we want to delete everything? Start back over. Nah, we ain't really got nothing on the chart. We ain't really messed with SPY last week. But we can't hide the drawings for right now, so we can look at what the market is doing. Okay. Alright. First thing first, going to SPY. Looking at this weekly, we did end up closing with a red weekly candle. We did get a red weekly candle while failing to go make that new higher high. We were trying to see if the market was going to push up and make this new higher high. Taking 689.70, failed to do so. End up closing red for the week. Of course, y'all know we made a higher high, then we made a lower low. So that shows indecisiveness. Market not really completely, yes, overall uptrend, but it's showing indecisiveness after making a higher high and a lower low. When we flipped green here, it's like, hey, can we push up? Can we end up, breaking them all-time highs? Well, we didn't break them all-time highs. We did end up breaking this slight downtrend structure here. Did break it by making a higher high. That previous week, that first week of December, we was trying to see can we continue and push to them all-time highs, but like we said, we seen that we failed. Now, what did the market do on this weekly? That higher high, of course, it made a low. Then we made a lower high, lower low, but then we pushed right back up and made a higher high. Still showing pretty much some indecisiveness. But we want to see, is the market going to set up to either make a higher low? Like, so we know that we're making some type of low since it's a red candle for this weekly. We know we're making some type of low. Will this low this red candle end up leading us down to make a lower low, or will it, halt and stay right here and we end up getting a green week, here in the near future to end up pushing us up to make another higher high, making another higher high and end up making this into a higher low. So if you want to know what I'm saying or see what I'm saying visual, I know I got these drawings on here, but I'm going to try to draw over the drawings. So what I'm saying is market, of course, made a low down there. I need to change this color. I'll change the color after I draw it out. But it made a low down there. We just right here, boom, made a high. So we broke that lower high, made a higher high, made a low. Now, like we said, it can either lead us all the way down, to make that lower low to get this downtrend forming, or it can, consolidate for a little while, but we can end up making a high and making this into a higher low, to end up keep pushing even more. So let me change this to yellow so it can stand out a little bit more. So we could see scenario like this. Like I said, this can end up making a higher low. There's no telling where to bounce at, but we really main thing looking for that first green week if we're trying to, look for potential longs. Looking for shorts, of course, like we said, this can potentially lead us, to the downside to make that lower low, Honestly, like we said, market is indecisive. We getting higher highs, then we getting lower lows back to back. So it's indecisive on that weekly. Dropping down to that daily. This is where we do our actual drawings and stuff. So we dropping down to the daily right now. Looking at that daily. Of course, like we said, market end up breaking that last lower high that we had. So we really only thing we got left is higher highs up here. We honestly trying to see is market going to still respect this uptrend that it broke into right here. Yes, we did close red for that weekly, so we gotta be kind of cautious trying to take them longs. Cause hey, what red means go down. Red means go down. We're looking for some type of low, either higher low or a lower low. So we still gotta be kind of cautious. But looking at that daily, we still got one left solidified low. But we gonna use that until market breaks below there. We're gonna stay bullish. Or looking for bulls. We can't necessarily get in just now until we get a green daily candle. But until market comes and break this 678.74, we not necessarily going to be taking the shorts, unless we're scalping or something like that. Once we break that, then okay, now we can start looking for longer runs to the downside. But yeah, looking at this daily, of course, overall uptrend. Our ultimate target is at 689.70. Our last solidified low is this 634.92. Okay. Now the lows that we want to see the market make into a new higher low potentially is the 650.85. But the only way we can do that is once we take this high at 689.70. Gotta go take that high first. Okay. Like we said, structures within the trend. Last higher low that we got is right here at that 678.74. So not until, like we said, not until we close below here, even if we just break it, we break it, then we can look for them shorts. Right now, I'm looking at this area right here. These last couple candles just pretty much consolidating. That's all they're doing is consolidating, trying to determine if it's trying to break the upside or downside. Like I said, we break 678.74, especially if we can close below it. If we close below it, definitely we'll see potentially this break of this gap, break, possibly retest to go down. The gap, this space between these two gaps not that big, so you might see a break and it just completely just come straight down to the next gap without even doing a retest. But the biggest thing we're looking for, if you're looking for them shorts, just all we need is a close below that 678.74 on SPY. Looking for longs, honestly, we do have this gap inside of this, overall big gap. We do have this gap that the market failed to close below. It is a small gap, but the market failed to close below it. Pretty much you want to see a green candle come, potential green candle. Might can see, hey, green candle come retest, and then we break out the big gap, break out the big gap to move up. Or we could also see market what? Don't even retest this gap down here. Just give us a green candle breakout. So green candle to breakout. Next possible pullback. They end up pushing us up, lead us to the higher highs. Biggest thing we gotta do for the longs though is get outside of this gap here, this daily gap between this 682.12. We want to see market close above 682.12. That's the biggest thing we got to see if you're looking to go long. Like I said, you could take some scalps. Well, options I usually don't like taking scalps. Options I like to, hold it to pretty much at least 2 to 3 days, if not to the end of the week. So based on SPY, we're waiting until 682 get closed above. Okay. Futures wise, you can take scalps. So for SPY, this is what we're looking for. Break, retest, possibly. If you're looking to go long, if you're looking to go short, that's what we're looking for. All right. Don't have no other gaps above to stop us from moving up. Once you break above here, the only thing we got is possibly what these highs. It's probably be like some type of resistance here, but we really don't got nothing in the way. So that's our scenarios for SPY. Okay, that's our scenarios for SPY. That's what we're looking for SPY. Jumping down to, and hold on, let me go back to SPY real quick. My bad. So like we said, SPY did end up making what? A lower low. Failed to close below that low. So we could potentially see, a pullback, before trying to come back down and seeing if we can close below this previous higher low area. But like we said, yeah, my bad. But like we said, if you're looking to go long, you gotta wait. One, you gotta wait on the green candle. Two, you really want to see it close above that 682.12. Honestly, you want to see it close above 682.12. My bad, TikTok. I don't even know if y'all seen them levels. There we go. I don't think y'all even seen them levels. All right. Now let's go to QQQ. It should be pretty much the same setup as SPY. Let's see. We actually, yeah, let me just delete. We want to delete everything and just do this one from scratch. Let's see. Nah, we good. This one actually charted up a little bit more because y'all know I trade my I trade the NQ, you know, for futures. So all right, we're gonna delete that because it did break that low. Now QQQ actually is a little bit different than SPY. As we seen with SPY still had one more low to hold on to right here at that 678.74, where QQQ don't have a low to hold on to. It already took that daily low. So that is interesting. QQQ already took that daily low. They failed to close below. So you know what? Let's still keep it marked. They failed to close below, but we're gonna put a white line there instead of pink because we not looking for that to be the solidified level now since it took it already. We just want to see now is we're gonna close it below it. But we did already take that low. That's interesting. So honestly, it's all it needs is a close below and it should just straight drop QQQ. But looking at the weekly, let's go to the weekly real quick. Weekly for QQQ, of course, we've seen what? Higher high, lower low. Now we just got a high. Yeah, the charts completely look different with the between SPY and QQQ. Because looking at the weekly on SPY, what we got? We had high, low, lower low, then what? Higher high. QQQ on the other hand, we don't got no higher high. See that? We just got a random high. That's it. So QQQ is looking more bearish, honestly. It's looking a little bit more bearish than SPY is. So we gotta be careful with that. QQQ actually look way more bearish than SPY. QQQ got what? Lower low, high, potential, drop for lower low. So it look way more set up for bearish. Especially on that weekly. Going to that daily. Now we said we just took out that last solidified level. Don't really got nothing left. Market closed below that solidified level, we honestly can just straight drop to the downside. So it's definitely looking way more bearish. But our last true solidified low for QQQ all the way down at 558.84. Our targets is 637.01. But like we said, if it closed below at 612.52, honestly, other than break, retest, to drop, it really ain't got no structure. It can literally drop super far. It can drop super hard. Yes, we got gaps to the side, but hey, I can see it potentially dropping pretty hard. Let's mark out these gaps though. Mark out these gaps real quick just to see where it could slow down it. Change it to red. Oh, change it to red. Dang, what color my inside on these is? I like that color. Let me see. Green. Okay. Let's change this to green because I like that inside color a little bit better. There we go. All right. We could see a slow down here at 607. Do we got some more? Yeah, we got 597. I ain't gonna mark those right now. I'm gonna just get that 607 marked up. But yeah, it's definitely looking way more bearish on QQQ. So for QQQ, if you want to go, my bad. If you want to go long on QQQ, what you will need to see is, of course, a green candle first. But we really want to see QQQ if you're looking to go long. Close above 615.13. You gotta see it close back above there. And you really want to see structure starting to form. Like we said, it just made a lower low, so it's kind of looking way more bearish than SPY is. So we really want to see high, low, and then boom, make a higher high, build an uptrend structure. Start building the uptrend structure is what we want to see if you want to be bullish on QQQ. Bears wise, all you need is just to close below that 612.52. Close below this low here, possible retest, and then take it all the way down to that 606, 607 area. So yeah, so if you want to see the scenario, like we said, break, retest, then possibly go up, definitely will want to see it close into this daily gap. If you want to be bullish, you're looking to be bearish, all you need is a break below that 612.52, and boom, take it back down to that 607 area. Okay, so those two scenarios. But either way, we need either a break to the upside past this gap, break to the downside, possibly past the gap. Not necessarily past the gap. You just really just need to close below this low, and then retest if it give us a green candle the next day. So say we get our first red candle close below, the next day turn green, or even if it pull back, it just got to stay below this low. That's all. Okay. All right. Now hopping over to ES. Let's go to that weekly first. And of course, TikTok, if y'all not, I know, like I said, it's the first time doing TikTok live stream. But on TikTok, we are using not the real data for TradingView, because I usually trade on Ninja Trader, Top Step, something like that. Yeah, Ninja Trader, Top Step. So I don't pay for the real time data on TradingView, but it don't really matter because we just do our analysis on the daily, mostly daily and weekly. All right, looking at we actually might delete everything for the futures and do it from scratch. All right, looking at ES weekly, we end up closing red just like with SPY. SPY closed red. ES chart literally look exactly like SPY. So we look at SPY. ES chart look exactly the same. Exactly the same. So what do we expect? Probably pretty much the same thing as we expect with SPY. Looking at that weekly, of course, we made higher high, low, high, lower low. So that made this into what? A lower high. But then we end up pushing right back up, so making a higher high. Not taking the all-time highs out, but making a higher high. Then we made a low. Okay, we made a low. So we want to see, is market going to start building structure to move to the other side to go and take this all-time high out, or is the market just going to reverse and keep being unpredictable, making higher highs and lower lows at the same time? So like we said, it made a higher high when it broke this lower high. It made a higher high. Boom. Red candle tells us what? It's looking for a low. Is it going to be a higher low, or is it going to lead us down to this lower low? That's what we got to find out. Only way we going to know is what? This next week, if we either close green, not even if it's the next week, at any point, if we close green at any point, do it lead us back to the higher highs? If it does, it let us know it made a higher low. Okay. But like we said, red candle definitely telling us we're making a low, so we know we're making our low right now. Okay, we gotta see how far down the market want to go currently. Okay, how far down does the market want to go? That we trying to see. Is it gonna come down and then push up, make that higher high? Now we know we got what? Structure. We know we got uptrend structure. Making higher highs and higher lows. Now, if the market ends up what? If this red candle, this last red weekly candle we had, not necessarily saying it do it all in 1 week, but if it leads us down to making a lower low, then boom, we ain't got no uptrend structure. Because uptrends consist of what? Higher highs, higher lows. So that's the biggest thing we're looking for. What is this? Where is this low leading us to? Either a higher low or a lower low. But in the event that we get a green candle for this next week, boom, we definitely should see these all-time highs get taken. Yeah, we definitely should see them all-time highs get taken after taking this high here. So it's interesting. This week is interesting. We got a lot of news. All this news that we got can, it can push us up to, make that higher high. But all that news also, if it come out bad, could just, bring us down in here. Because the market honestly don't have to go make that new high yet. That's the high that it need to break. It need to break this red candle high, and close past it if it can for that continuation. But look at all this space that the market got though. The market literally can play around as many days it wants to. Cause look at all this space. It got this much range before it, make a lower low. It got a lot of space. The market can literally play around. It can literally play around. The wrong drawing tool, my bad. It can play around as long as it wants. Not until it finally breaks that low right here. Not until it breaks that low, then we know, okay, full-fledged downtrend. But it can play around, then come all the way back up and take that high. So you gotta be careful. Gotta be patient. But let's drop down to that daily. I know we don't do the drawings on the weekly. Drop down to that daily. Looking at this daily, okay. Where's the target? Overall uptrend, right? Overall uptrend. So marking out the target. Of course, is this high up here at 6953.75. Gonna make that green. Last solidified level we had was right here at 64.52 flat. We're gonna make that red. We know our trade supposed to be within here for the uptrend trade. What level do we want to see be a solidified level? Is here. This low at 65.25. So we're gonna put a light pink level there, okay? Next, did this low get taken? Let's see. This is 68.02. This low is 68.05. So this low didn't get taken yet. So we can put a light line there for another potential higher low. Just market got to start literally pushing straight up now. If we want this low to be respected here, what gaps we need to use? It did close below this gap, but hey, it looked like it's trying to do is retest. That retest failed. We definitely can see, like we said, we can see that close above. Up. Come on. That's that dang magnet messing me up. My bad, y'all. Let's delete that. Turn that magnet off. Alright. But this it just got a break below the gap. It look like it's doing that retest. We can't really be sure until this candle closed though. If it closed green, we know for a fact it did a retest. But if it's just end up flipping back red, we don't count that. But if it closed green, say if it closed green, if you want to be bullish, you want to see what? Close above, retest, then boom, take these highs out here. We can close past it. If we get a closure, daily candle closure above these highs, it should lead us to the all-time high. Okay. Bearish wise, you want to see this low get taken out. If you want to be bearish, you want to see this low get taken out to continue to drop, possibly to the bottom of this daily gap. Hold up. Break, retest, possibly drop down to this daily gap and break out. So what gap I'm talking about? This one right here. So possibly do that. If you look for them shorts, look for the longs. You really want to see that close above 68, 65. Okay. Bearish wise, you just need to close below 68.02. Daily close below 68.02. Possibly retest the drop, or it can just, if it just close straight into this gap, it's probably gonna just go to the bottom of the gap. Okay. If we break below this gap, the next gap we'll say that it could lead to is down here. All right. Um, but we had to break this gap, retest that gap to drop too. But those are two trades that we could potentially look for. If you're looking to be bullish, you really wanted to close back above this daily gap here. Bearish, you just wanted to close below this low. That's all you need. Just close below that low, and you can get ready to look for them shorts. Okay. NQ probably gonna look just like QQQ. My bad. Let's delete all these drawings from last week so we can start fresh. So let's go to that weekly first. Let's see. Yeah, it looked just like QQQ. Exact same. See that? Looked the exact same as QQQ. Alright. So unlike ES, unlike SPY, NQ does not have that higher high gap made. NQ looks more bearish than ES. Okay, it looks more getting ready, set up for the for the shorts than ES does. Looking at that weekly. Of course, we got what? We got lower low, high, red candle indicating that we're making a low. We don't know if it's gonna be a higher low or will this lead us down, boom, to make that lower low to actually full-fledged make a downtrend. If we end up coming down here making that lower low, closing below, definitely see a strong push to the downside. If we end up making this into a higher low and we can close above these highs on the weekly, definitely can see them all-time highs getting taken out. Okay. All right. So let's go down to that daily. Just like with QQQ, NQ end up taking that last low that we had to hold on to right here. It did end up taking that low. It shouldn't. I don't think it closed below. No, it didn't close below it. So that's the biggest thing. If it didn't close below it, it still can come back up. It still can come back up. All right. So looking at this daily chart, what is the overall trend? It's an uptrend. So we're gonna mark it up as we look for longs. Our target will be the all-time highs. Okay. Green. Last solidified low that we had. Honestly, last solidified low we had, I think it's right here. Which one the lowest point? That's 23.35. 23. Yeah, this one. We're gonna mark that red, last solidified low, so got that marked out. The last low that we want to see, or we want to see be our new higher low, is here. All the way down at 23,904. Like we said, it just took this low out, but it didn't close below it, so we're gonna put a white line. We want to see we not necessarily being short until it closed below there. If it don't close below there, we still got to stay with our overall bullish, sentiment. Not until it closed below that 25,193.25. Not until it closed below there. That's the biggest thing. We get a close below there, then yeah, we looking for them short. But we swept that low. We didn't close below the low yet. Okay. Looking for gaps. We got get this gap here. The market could, head up to. Mark that out. Got this gap up here. Of course, we got this gap down here. NQ definitely always has more gaps than ES and SPY. I mean ES and ES and SPY. NQ and QQQ always have more gaps. If we do close below here, where could we start going down to? Of course, I see this gap. I really don't even want to mark it because it's so dang close. I just don't like marking too many gaps. But we'll mark it still. Of course, we got this gap here. Next gap would be down here. Alright, that's all we're gonna mark. We're gonna mark all them dang gaps. So what we looking for if you wanna be bullish? One, you need to close back inside this gap. I usually don't like trading in the gaps, but this gap, the space between this gap It's a lot bigger than the space between these two gaps. If I want to be bullish, I might have to go down to the hourly on NQ if I want to be bullish. Maybe go down to the hourly, see if market structure shift happened off of that daily gap. Like we end up making a higher high, but it's tricky. I mean, you at least needed to close inside this daily gap at least. I just don't like trading inside gaps, but you at least needed to close in there. But if I had to say where to go long at, it would be down here in this area, but you need to see market structure shift first. So you would like to see a green candle close back above this 25,193 level. Possibly, give a slight pullback. And then boom, push up. Oh, I'll keep clicking the wrong one. My bad, y'all. So boom, boom, boom. But like I said, you had to go down to that hourly level to get that long entry. Short wise, it's kind of easier. It's a little bit more simpler if you're trying to be short. Short, all you really need is that close below 25,193. Close below there. Close below there. Maybe you'll see a retest, then drop. At least to that daily gap right here. But those are two scenarios for NQ and NQ. The two scenarios. NQ, I don't know. I don't really, like I said, unless I go down to the hourly, that's the only way I would look for them long entries. I don't like, all these gaps in the way. I think I'd rather be on ES than that. All right, going to, I want to go to YM. We can go to YM real quick. We ain't gonna be on YM long. YM, definitely took our target. YM definitely took our target last week. YM went to its all-time highs last week. I think we did catch YM last week. Did get to catch YM. Do we even need a chart? Change any of this? Yeah, we can delete this. We ain't gotta necessarily go. Let me see the weekly for YM real quick. Close green. Okay. YM closed green. Failed to close but a high though. So we definitely expect slight pullback, then possibly come retest, try to see if we can keep pushing higher. Well, it already did a slight pullback, son. So these are lows, the higher lows right here. We'll mark those out. My bad. Wrong one. These are the higher lows. This level is solidified now. So we can change this to red. 45,779. That one's solidified now. So we could delete this one because that's the last one. We did leave a gap behind. Okay, we left a gap behind. Mark that out. Honestly, all we looking for on YM. Of course, it closed past there once, but we want to see structure build above these highs. We want to see structure build above 48,528. I'm gonna put white. So we close back below it. We gotta close back above it. That's the biggest thing. Close back above it. Definitely looking for this high to get taken. To see if we can close above there. That'll be our target. YM actually look nice for them long. It was beautiful last week. This is what I was expecting for NQ and ES last week, but we did not get it. Well, YM did give us beautiful all-time highs take. We did catch a little bit of YM. But biggest thing, we need to see a close back above 48,528. Close back above what we want to see after that. It may not give us a retest. But if it does, that retest, then what? Take it to an all-time high. We could see just a straight green candle. As soon as we get the first green candle, the next candle could just push straight up to the high. But in an event that it does somehow give us a retest, we get in that retest, take it to the other side. But we need to close back above 48,528 for them longs. For the shorts, if you want to be bearish, honestly, what you want to, you don't want to see it close above here. First of all, you don't want to see it close above 48, 528. So if you want to be bearish, you definitely want to see it close back below here. Possibly, what's the best entry for a short? Let's see. Ding, ding, ding. Really, break below here. Break back below this last gap we had, the gap we just made. So close below. Come on. Close below. Retest. Take it down to that previous daily gap. Now if you can drop down to the hourly or something, you might can look. If you look for a short, you might can try to look for market structure somewhere up here above that 488, 528. If you see it start looking like, hey, we starting turning bearish on that 1 hour, and it look like we finna start, breaking back below 48, 528, that could give you an even better entry to take all the way back down to this gap, all right. But those are the more clean cut opportunities, entries. Okay. Now let's go to gold. Go to gold. Go to gold. Gold just going crazy. Literally, it's respecting our levels so beautiful, man. It's crazy. I don't even think I need to change the drawings because gold been respecting all of our stuff. And we caught gold last week too. And it been beautiful, man. We've been tearing gold up. I think Thursday and Friday we took gold. Thursday and Friday we caught gold to the upside. Yeah, because this was our big trade, and this was that next trade we took on Friday right here. Looking at gold weekly, let's go to the weekly. Let's hide these drawings for a second. Gold weekly, man, I'm telling you, it look like we are retesting these all-time highs. Biggest thing weekly, want to see when we do get up here and take this high at 43.98. Can it close past it? If it closed past it, that is a signal for what? Continuation to keep going higher. If it just sweep the high and don't close past it, okay, well then it's not ready to keep going higher. Either if it closed green, it's gonna probably pull back slightly, then go back up that following week. Or if it breaks that high and flip red, it possibly can lead us to a lower low. So we really want to see what it does when it take that 43.98 level. That's the biggest thing we want to see. What does it do? Do we continue to build structure above, or do we get ready to potential pull back? Okay, so overall, we know. Oh, my bad. Go back to the weekly. My bad. Looking at the weekly though, like I said, we made higher high, made a low. Is we gonna come back, make this higher high again? We made higher high, low. So it's we still overall in this uptrend. Don't got no market structure to the shorts just yet. If you're trying to be bearish, it's not ready for you to be bearish if you're trying to be bearish. All right, now going to that daily. Let's bring our drawings back. I don't know why this got off sitting. No, there we go. It fixed it. I guess it was just lagging a little bit. Overall, what's our target? The all-time highs at 43.98. Last solidified level we got was what? 3842.6 right here. Okay. So all this stuff in the inside, really, honestly, it don't matter. But you know what I'm saying? It's more like building structure inside of the overall structure. What's the next solidified level we looking for? We'll be right here at 39.01. But we gotta come take these highs. Once we take these highs, we set alert to crossing up. Once we take this high, then this level gonna turn to a solid red level. And that's gonna be our new solidify level. These lows right here, these higher lows right here is just within inside the overall big picture. But this will be the next new higher low. Once we take that high, though, we gotta go take that high first. Let's delete this because this was the line we had on that hourly when we got in Friday. Looking at the daily for an entry. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. If you trying to get in on gold, if you weren't already in once we got in on Thursday and it broke this high, you kinda, I ain't gonna say you left behind, but you ain't got the best. You ain't gonna have the best entry. You just gonna have to go to a lower time frame, possibly the 1 hour, and follow the structure to the upside. But daily wise, you really ain't. It's almost a little bit too late. It's already starting to head to the highs. I mean, I guess if you somehow get a pullback back down to this daily gap here, you could see that. If we somehow turn red, you could see this though. I'll give you this. If we somehow turn red before going up to the highs, you could see market come back to this structure high right here at 42.99, and you might can get that what? You might can get that bounce right there, and take it to the other side. Could get that bounce right here potentially. But that's only if we get a red candle. That's it. Like I said, currently it's probably too late for you. Probably finna just go ahead and head to these highs. Unless you go down to the hourly. So let's see on the hourly if you want to get in. If you want to get in on that hourly, look, it ain't even giving you an entry on the hourly. It's just running. It's just running right now. You really need a pullback. You need some type of red candle to come in here. If you don't get no red candle, just leave it alone. I'm gonna tell y'all now. But whenever you do get your red candle, if you do get it before you get up to these highs, once that red candle come, wait until the first green candle come on the hourly. That first green candle that comes, so save that first red candle happens like right here. Soon we get that first red candle, that first green candle you get hitting that long. Alright. So say we pull down, boom, it was red. Get our first green candle, get in the long. Okay, aim for them all-time high. So say A was your red candle, that'll be your new stop loss. That'd be your stop loss, the bottom of whatever the lowest point between the red candle and the green candle before you made that green candle. And then you'll aim for that high. And you can that'd be a good risk reward for you. So say if the green, this was red, say we got our red, then the green candle, say the green candle closed like here. Stop loss will be here. Aim for the all-time high. So you get you a nice 2-to-1 trade. So that's the only way you really can get an entry on gold. You got to go to that lower time frame, look for some red candles, okay, for the pullbacks, and then use them red candles as your stop loss. So like say, let me go to the lower time frame. See, okay, like right here, we got some red like this. But I would want it to be on the 1 hour. But say we end up making a higher high right here. We make this higher high, then your stop loss will be the bottom of this low. You see that? If we make this higher high and close past, that's the biggest thing. You got to close past for that continuation. But we make that higher high, boom, get in that long. So let's set this. If we make a higher high, that'll be your long, your entry. You stop loss this low right here. Of course, first you supposed to target top of this gap. That'll be your first target. So 1-to-1. If it close past the top of that gap, of course, aim for this high. If it close past that high, your next target will be what? The all-time highs. Okay, so if you didn't get in gold, like we said, if you weren't able to get in gold on Thursday when it first broke out, that's the only way I can see entries. Like you gotta go to a lower time frame, see some red candles come, and use those for your potential stop losses. Like I said, 15-minute, you could use it, but it gotta make a higher high and close past that high. Then this low right here would be your stop loss. Okay. All right. Now I think we done with our futures. Now let's go look at some of these options. Okay, we're gonna first start off with CrowdStrike. Y'all know I love trading CrowdStrike. Now, CrowdStrike, man, it was faking us out so much last week. We didn't get in the trade. You know, we was waiting on CrowdStrike to close past certain points. But man, I was getting so dang ready for CrowdStrike. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was getting ready to get anything CrowdStrike. Cause starting off, I'm gonna show y'all on a lower time frame. Starting off, we pushed straight up. I'm like, dang, CrowdStrike might be closing above here at the start of the week, but then it ended up flushing right back down. But it don't really even matter because what we said, we waiting on that weekly candle close, and what we got, weekly candle close. I told y'all it probably won't do it until Friday, cause the whole week, Monday I think we pushed out. Then the rest of the week we just stayed inside here, man. We like pushed right back down, stayed in here, pushed right back up, and then Friday we finally broke back to the outside. But this purple, excuse me, y'all, excuse me, dang it. This purple box, of course, is our weekly gap. We were trying to see either a break to the upside or a break to the downside. Uh, we got our break to the downside. That's what we got. Now, biggest thing we got to look out for. We did get our close to the downside, so it got me looking bearish right now. I'm really looking to go to the short side. Um, we gonna have to go to that lower time frame and make sure the daily got to stay short. Weekly, I mean hourly, it can stay short, but really we gotta make sure that daily's staying to the short side for us to be able to be like, okay. We can take them shorts, swing the shorts to this 486, 30 level. We really need that down. We need that daily to stay in a downtrend for CrowdStrike. Um, Definitely want to see this week close red. Also, if it do close green this week, this is the event that we do close green. This is when we're gonna see this right here, that break and retest. So say if we close green this week, we cannot close back inside this purple gap. We cannot at all. We cannot close back inside there. It's okay if it close green like this candle here. You see this? Fail to close inside. Let me zoom in a little bit if y'all can't see. See how we had to break? Fail to close inside? That's what we want to see over here if it do close green. Don't close back inside there. If it close green, it's just pretty much telling us, hey, that next week we gotta close red. So that next week we definitely gonna grab them short, especially if it don't close inside. We're gonna grab them short soon that daily show us it's switching back to a downtrend. But looking at this weekly, man, I did all that talking. Looking at this weekly, overall it's an uptrend. Last solidified level, 402. But we potentially can drop though for CrowdStrike. Let me mark this. Well, no, that's a weekly. My bad. I ain't gonna mark it. We can potentially drop for CrowdStrike. We do got a red counter. It's looking pretty close to setting up to be bearish. It just gotta make this lower low, but we did get our red counter. We got high, so higher high, low, high. If this make a lower low, that'll make this what? A lower high. Okay. Now dropping to that daily. Let's pull this back up. Drop it to that daily. All we need is daily to stay bearish if we want to take it down to that 486 level. It's already initiated the bears. Like bears coming in. Cause what we did, we made what? Higher high, right? But then what happened? Boom, made a lower low. So biggest thing we want to see, honestly, for CrowdStrike, one, we need my bad. One, we need a close below 504.54. That's the biggest thing we need. Biggest thing we need for CrowdStrike. Must close below this low. It got super close. As y'all see, I zoomed in. Super close. Failed to close below though. We needed to close below there. Needed to close below there. Let me change it back to white. Cause y'all know the white lines is what I use to see if it can close above or below. So we're gonna set an alert for that. Cause we definitely wanna know. We definitely wanna know if we can close below. I'm just gonna put an alert for crossing down. Do I want to do part close? That's the biggest thing. Do I want to do bar close? You know what? This is what I'm actually gonna do. Now put that alert there. Let's do we want to delete it? Yeah, let's delete it. Drop down to the hourly. Now where was that low at? What it was, y'all? 504 something. I think it was this. Was it 504.66? Let's go back to that daily. No, that was it. 504 is 54. That's a little bit off. What the world? Do I want to? Nah, let's delete. Let's go put it back on the daily. Cause I was gonna see if on the hourly, if we start building structure underneath that level, I pretty much can kind of know if it's gonna close below or not. But we just put it back on the hourly, set the alert, daily close. I mean daily, yeah, daily close below. That's the biggest thing we need though. Can it close below 504.54? We get that daily close below there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna get in one or two cross strike swings to the downside. But we definitely need that close below. Like we said, we made higher high, then boom, made a lower low. But we want to close below that low for a continuation to the downside. A close below the low is gonna give us that continuation to the downside. Honestly, to the left, yes, we do got a gap here that could slow us down. I ain't really scared of it. We got a gap here that could slow us down. So I guess you could, if you want to get in, you can be like, hey, this is my first target. So we close below there. Your first target in them shorts would be this 497. So we close below 504. First target would be 497. You want to see, can we close inside or even close below this gap at 495? That'll be your first target. After that, I don't think we got no other gaps. Let's see. Dang it, we do got another gap. Well, then second target is the next gap. You see that right here at 492. Yeah, 492. Same thing. When they get down to 492, you want to see, can we close below it? I mean, inside this gap, or can we close below the gap to keep dropping? But all it don't matter. Main thing we need is that 504.54 day to close below. Okay, that's the biggest thing we need. What we don't want to see though, which can lead us into some consolidating, is if we close back green, especially if we close back inside this weekly gap at 511.18. If we close green on that daily back inside there, we could potentially be consolidating again. Okay, just like hey, we've been consolidating this whole time, could consolidate again. If we get a day close back inside that gap, could consolidate and just gotta leave it alone. Just gotta leave it alone until we either break to the up or downside again. Okay. But I like CrowdStrike, man. That weekly got some potential to drop pretty hard. Like I said, we close below 504. Close below that 504. If that next week can close, I mean this week, pretty much the week we're going into, if it can close red, especially if we can close red and take this low here, man, we can literally dump crazy. Because really the last low it really need to take is right here at 469. A close below 469 literally can lead us all the way down to 402. So I'm liking CrowdStrike, but like I said, if you want to be bullish, you need a green week. We need a green counter week, so we got to stay above the 504 and close green for the week. Close green for the week. Your stop loss will be the bottom of this red candle, and you definitely looking for these highs to get taken. Okay. But anybody being bullish, you kind of gotta wait till the end of this. You gotta wait till this weekend for CrowdStrike. Okay. Now let's jump over to Meta. Jump over to Meta. I don't even think we gotta change this chart. This chart pretty much can stay the same. Looking at the weekly, we closed red. We got a red weekly. Overall, technically, right now it's still in the downtrend. Just broke to the downtrend right here. Overall, yes, it's uptrend. But we just technically still in this downtrend on Meta. Now, if we get a green week come up, like this week turn green, of course, if you want to be bullish and thinking it's going to be that breakout of this downtrend, the stop loss will be the bottom of that red candle or the green candle, depending on which one the lowest. Once you get a green candle, then you aim for this high of this candle first. Once it get to the high of this candle, you want to see, can we close past that candle? We close past that candle, more than likely we coming up into this high. But if we just sweep that high and fail to close past, you're going to either need a pullback and then retest the high again, or if it failed to close past and it turned red, it's probably going to drop. Okay, but it's still technically in this short-term downtrend right now, so it's not completely ready for you to go long. God dang. But metal, what the heck? Metal went, boy, metal went all the way up. Hold up. I got something popped up on TikTok. Oh, it's telling me to do a puzzle or the live gonna end in 5 minutes. Hold up. Alright. Um, dang, that's crazy with Meta. Meta though, daily. That's crazy. It did start forming an uptrend on the daily. We did mark out them higher lows. Um, the last solidified level though for the daily on Meta, all the way down at 479. Like that's super far. All the way down at 479. But we did mark these higher lows. Uh, this potentially can be our new solidified level, but we gotta come take these highs, the all-time high. That's the only way this will be a new solidified level right here. Of course, these higher lows, we using those to potentially, anchor the market up, anchor the market to the upside. We're still respecting these higher lows for right now. But that's crazy. It made a higher high on Friday. I ain't even see this. I don't even. Let me see real quick. Oh, that was. Hold up, give me 1 second. Daily. This look crazy. Hold up, man. Yeah, that ain't right. Is it? This is Thursday. Friday. Some man, Trading View need to come on with their charts. Everybody got no games to play. Why the heck that daily look like that? Ain't no, cause I about to say I don't remember seeing this on Friday, bro. But I ain't even go to Meta chart. I don't even. We might have to let Trading View open up Monday, cause I don't know if they got a glitch or what's going on. Cause I don't even remember it doing this. But like I said, I don't think I opened up Meta Friday. We're gonna skip over Meta chart for right now. I don't know what's going on with that chart. That's weird. Yeah, we're gonna skip over we're gonna skip over the Meta chart. I don't know what they got going on. He said Spanxmas is running, get in. What is Spanxmas? I don't even know what that is. Blake, let me know what that is. I don't know what that is. Private account said that he's looking for ASML. Let's look at that real quick. ASML. My bad, private. I told y'all top step. I mean with TikTok. Y'all gotta bear with me. Cause it's my first TikTok live, so he said short. Oh yeah, definitely. Looking at this daily, definitely looks short. I agree. Private account. I definitely agree. Private account. Definitely look. Daily look short. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly. Oh yeah, private account. I agree, bruh. Oh yeah, I agree with them shorts. Failed to close above its high and gave us a red weekly. I don't know if you're still in here, private account. I definitely agree with these shorts. Weekly, beautiful. Daily, close below. That's a continuation. I agree. Private account just put us on a nice trade, y'all. I 100% agree. Let's see where we might be trying to go. Do got a gap here at 1060. Let's go to that daily. Close below that high. Okay. Yeah, I like these shorts. Definitely private account. That was a nice call. A break drop. Boom. Uh, I'm looking to see where potential targets would be for them shorts. There, here. Dang, I don't know if private account still in here though, cause I just now seen that comment. My bad, bro. But if you somehow come back to the stream, yeah, we definitely like them shorts. Definitely like them shorts. So break, maybe if it retest, we can get in down to 166. But it might just straight drop to it. Dang, that was a nice call, private. Let's see. He also said LRCK CX. LRCX. He said short from both. He said he's short on both. LRCX. Okay, swept that high. Did give us a red candle, so that could indicate our first sign of reversal. Dang, this might be early entry. This is a little bit early of an entry. It ain't completely for me, for my liking. It ain't completely ready until we get a red week. But that daily starting to set it up though. It's starting to set it up on that daily. I think the daily I either want to see these lows get taken out, or I want to see a pullback, a green candle first, and then make a lower low. Then I definitely like to take the short. But I can see what you're saying with this LRC private account. I definitely can see that potential setup for these shorts. Because it did, looking at that weekly, it swept the high. We just need a red candle to indicate, hey, come down. But it did sweep that high. So it's setting up for it. But the only thing I need from me personally to get the confirmation is a what lower low to get made. So either it can have this red, make a green candle, and then boom, we make that lower low. I like the shorts then. Or if we come down and take them lows down there and close below the lows, I like the continuation to the downside. Potential targets though, where you potentially will want to get out or look for and see what it does. They got a lot of targets. They got this gap here. They got a gap here to target, but they pretty much back to back. But what else? No, I ain't mark that out. Possibly here. Think here. Now I got a slight gap here. We can put that. I can see what you're saying though, private account. From short. Me personally, I read for a green candle to come first. Then boom, another red candle, we could take the short. But I gotta see how them contracts look, private account. That first one you told me though, that ASML, I think it's ready. It's already ready for the shorts. It gave us that lower low, closed below the lows and everything. So even the weekly, we swept the high, swept this high. We end up trying to build structure, but we end up closing right back below. So I like this one a little bit better for them shorts, private account. All right, let me see. We're gonna go over one more, see if somebody said something else. And Blake, I see you said Spankmas. I don't know what that is. Um is that like meme coins or something? I don't think that's let me see. Spank. I think that's meme coins, bro. Yeah, I don't trade on meme coins, Blake. Oh, thanks, Blue for being the number one gifter. I think that's all the TikTok comments. Let me see. Shingly said that look like consolidation. I'm not sure which chart he was talking about. Cause I'm dang late to the comments. I told y'all bear with me. It's my first TikTok stream, man. Um, so where we was at? Where was at? Let's pick back up. I already said CrowdStrike. Yeah, we already got our set up for CrowdStrike. Let's go to I ain't been on Nvidia in a while. We're gonna look at Nvidia and then I might call it. Cause I told y'all we don't really got no earnings that we looking for. So we're gonna look at Nvidia and then we're gonna call it for the night. Dang, we ain't got no drawings on Nvidia. All we got is this target and solidify level. I guess that's probably why I ain't been on this chart in a while. Looking at Nvidia, still the solidify level is all the way down here at 164. Overall, if you look at the overall trend, uptrend, overall target is 212. Uh, Nvidia, maybe we can see it respect this higher low right here. Maybe. So but we have to turn green tomorrow. Um, this is the next solidify level we want to see, 169.55. Honestly, we literally have to see a green candle tomorrow. Have to. If you're trying to be bullish, you have to. So if you want to be bullish, you could say necessarily be like, hey, go to that hourly, see market structure shift to the other side. You could potentially set that long. Stop loss will be here if you're looking for that low at 173.68 to be respected. But you really don't want to, you really don't want to trade into a down close candle. But maybe it's respecting this low right here, this higher low. Of course, you need the market to start pushing back up though. So literally, it gotta flip green here. If it closed red, especially if it closed below that 173.68, probably gonna get that continuation drop. You look for that continuation to that downside, possibly down to break that 169 level. That's if you're being bearish. Bullish, like we said, it literally just gotta pound. It just gotta turn green tomorrow. That's it. Flip green, possible. Like I said, you had to see it on the hourly though. If you're trying to go long, like I said, you'll need tomorrow. Definitely got to be a green candle for you. Green candle come in, then at Tuesday, maybe a slight pullback. If you want to pull back, it could just shoot straight up with all that news we got on Tuesday coming out. But tomorrow definitely had to be a green candle. Then you need that slight pullback on Tuesday. Boom. When that slight pullback happen on like the hourly, if you see market structure start forming to make an uptrend, and then we come take that daily high from Monday, then boom, take that long all the way back up. Stop loss will be, of course, whatever that lowest point before we take that Monday high. Okay. So like I said, the daily gotta close green tomorrow, and then once you go on that hourly, if it do a pullback, let the pullback happen, and wait until it come back and take that daily that Monday high. And then that's when you boom, get in the long. Stop loss will be whatever that lowest point before we took that Monday high. And really you ain't got no target until we get all the way to the all time high. I mean not all time high, this most recent high at 188. I mean you do got this gap here that could slow you down. Let's mark that out. So you could try to see what it does when it get here at 182.81. Honestly, nothing else you should worry about. I don't see nothing else before you get there. Yeah, I see this slight gap right here at 179, 180. Maybe that we'll mark that out for you too. So these two, you have to just see how it reacts. So when it gets up to these two gaps, so like say you get in your long, it break Monday high. Once it get up here, you want to see, do we close inside there, start building structure inside, and close inside, or do we close past it, for to continue going up to the next gap? Same thing when it get to here. Can we close inside it, or can we close past it to keep going up? If it touch it and don't close inside it, get ready to get out. All right. It said invite to join as guest. I don't know what that is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you look for shorts, you really just want that close below that 173.68. Possibly take you down to 169. If it closed below to 169, break retest, definitely come down to 164. You look for longs, you need this daily, you need a green daily candle tomorrow for sure. Or if it do close red, you just don't need it to go below 173.68. And then somehow get a green candle. You gotta have some type of green candle first. Green candle first on the daily. Then, like we said, drop down to that hourly. Let the pullback happen. Soon as take that previous green candle day high, get in the long. Now, if it's safe it close green and it don't get no pullback and it's just pushing up above the high and it's building structure above that high, you can get in just off the structure above the high and take it up too. All right. But yeah, we're gonna call it, man. I think that's it for tonight. We went over a lot of different futures and stocks today, so we're gonna call it a night, man. Y'all have a good one. Like I said, if you're on TikTok, I go live on YouTube at Quisetrades. I trade live also. Soon the market open at 8:30. The stock market open. I get on. I trade live. I trade futures. Usually I trade mostly futures, but we still trade options. It's just on the stream. I kind of just show the futures. Sometimes I show the options on the YouTube stream, but usually I just trade the futures on YouTube. Like I said, every day when market open. So if you want, you know what I'm saying, subscribe. It's the same name as on TikTok. It's Quisetrades. And if you on YouTube and you ain't follow on my TikTok, go follow my TikTok. Y'all know TikTok is a lot shorter clips, but I usually try to post the trades I take on there. I didn't post like all last week though on TikTok, but we gonna start back posting. But follow the TikTok if you on YouTube. Go to TikTok, type in Quisetrades, go on follow. Okay. All right, your boy Keys is out. Peace. Y'all have a good one. Let me see. I don't even know how to end my TikTok one. Yeah. Okay.